Imagine this, a phoenix rising from the ashes of suppression, wings ablaze with the fire of rediscovery, scorching the chains that bound it for decades. Silent no more. Unstoppable. Igniting a blaze through the vaults of global finance. That's silver right now, my friend. The white metal, long dismissed as gold's lesser shadow, suddenly erupting in a spectacular breakout. The $65 barrier, proclaimed unbreakable by every Wall Street oracle, shattered yesterday, December 17th, 2025. Spiked to $66.50 in a heartbeat, then a precise pullback to $65.80 for the retest. Not a stumble, but a launchpad. The gamma squeeze firing like thrusters on a spaceship breaking orbit. You've seen the charts glowing green, the buzz on X about a silver detonation that's got the shorts sweating bullets. But what if I told you this isn't fleeting speculation? It's a meticulously engineered explosion concealed in the derivatives labyrinth, fermenting for months. A megatrend of industrial voracity and monetary awakening, coiling like a compressed supernova beneath the Earth's crust, primed to propel prices into the stratosphere. You, the retail stacker toiling through years of rigged games, need to grasp the ignition sequence. Because if you're not geared up, this could catapult your holdings while the doubters get vaporized. But hang with me, I'm dissecting the layers, forensic detective mode, to equip you for the ascent. This is part 1 of our probe, the enigmatic shadows over silver. Part 1, the ominous lull before the detonation. Envision silver in the opening days of December 2025. It's battering against that $65 cap, probing for weaknesses like a safecracker listening for tumblers. Everyday folks like you are electric, solar panels devouring record volumes, electric vehicle circuits starving for conductivity, and the specter of inflation murmuring promises of parabolic gains. But then, bam, the price ignites. Not a gradual climb, but these bizarre vertical thrusts. From $65 to $66.50 in mere hours yesterday. Trading volumes detonating, surpassing 1.5 million contracts on the COMEX in a single session, dwarfing averages. It's as if the market's harboring a concealed reactor, overheating and expelling energy in uncontrolled bursts. You scan the feeds. No catastrophic supply disruptions, no blockbuster policy shifts from central banks, just this underlying tension simmering unspoken. Naysayers dismiss it as mere hype, bubbling up after the climb from $40 mid-year. Frothy overextension, they mutter with a wave. But deep down, you sense it. This vibe you've encountered before, the faint seismic rumbles preceding a volcanic eruption. Zoom out, and the investigative trail blazes. This isn't crowd mania. It's covert buildup from the options abyss, pressuring the system until it cracks. Dive deeper, akin to sleuths combing through encrypted ledgers. Initial lead, silver's entanglement with options gamma dynamics. In the last 12 months, it's been a symbiotic lock. Swelling open interest at pivotal strikes correlates with volatility spikes. Contractions lull the metal into dormancy. The mechanics? Behold the gamma squeeze, that elusive predator stalking the shadows of trading floors. Picture market makers peddling call options at bargain basement convexity around $65, minimal risk premium sustaining the lid for quarters, and channeling those inflows into suppressive hedges. Trillions in notional value circulating, anchoring spot prices while ballooning synthetic exposures. Yet recently, call option frenzy erupts. CME metrics reveal open interest surging to 500,000 contracts at the $65 threshold, eclipsing 2021 peaks. That's no anomaly, it's a distress beacon. Trader grapevines estimate the aggregate options overhang nearing $18 billion. When the spot breaches that line, gamma pivots from neutral to explosive. Makers scramble, algorithmically snapping up futures to neutralize deltas, generating an upward vortex that defies gravity. The clincher, though, echoes from history etched in the price tapes. Back in May 2024, gamma coiling at $30 propelled silver 22% higher. September that year, a 38% blast-off amid similar buildup. March 2025 delivered another 32% rocket. Pattern repeats. Price grazes the fortress wall. Gamma acts as the battering ram, pulverizing resistances and incinerating bearish bets. Bloomberg Analytics wagering 96% on entrenched breakout beyond $65. Silver's response? Solidifying the retest, rebounding 3% from yesterday's nadir. Coincidence? Hardly. It's irrefutable evidence of orchestrated influx. Not shorts piling on, but relentless buy-side momentum. Concealed accumulators, masquerading as automated protocols, fortifying positions as defenders falter. A frequent pushback, I hear. Silver's fundamentals are industrial now, pure utility, not gambler's play. Partial truth, but missing the fusion. Data shows silver's sync with photovoltaic deployments at 68% last quarter. It's essential infrastructure metal fueling the grid of tomorrow on tangible shortages. Gamma's spark? Like dousing gasoline on a bonfire of necessities. The blaze engulfs everything. You, eyeing your modest stack, sense the warmth intensifying. Yet this merely sets the scene. The true suspense, the entities stoking this inferno, and their timing. Should this latent force erupt fully, silver might vault past $85. Linger for part 2. We're exposing the masterminds. Part 2. The concealed orchestrators of the blast. If you've tuned into this probe from the outset, you're attuned. The peculiar silver thrusts, the investigative links to gamma amplification, the market makers unwittingly fueling the fire through hedging mandates, all converging on this confirmed breakout, a gamma-driven catapult via forced covering. But let's unveil the veil. Who embodies this shadowy catalyst, this silver inferno masterminding a potential 40% surge? And why ignite precisely now, amid the chill of late 2025? No isolated gambler here. It's the algorithmic overlords, the banks, the citadels, brandishing hedging code like incendiary devices in a tinderbox. A megatrend of technological renaissance and fiscal reawakening brewing since the twilight of paper dominance. You, the steadfast accumulator navigating these blazes, merit the unvarnished facts. Grasping the perpetrators and their motives could delineate between astute riding the updraft and getting scorched in the downdraft. Link the fragments, suspense novel fashion. These market architects, titans like JP Morgan, HSBC, the entrenched syndicate, have suppressed silver for generations, towering short stacks, flooding markets with derivatives to dictate terms. Envision it as a colossal barrier reef, obstructing natural flows while futures puppeteer the visible price. Participants short cheaply, leverage up, and redirect into high-return arenas. Semiconductor fabs, renewable grids, even quantum computing prototypes. That's the commercial short paradigm, a vortex of control absorbing physical supply and exhaling distortions. But the reversal trigger? Consumption clawing viciously. Industrial uptake leaping 18% annually, Silver Institute figures affirm. Photovoltaics alone guzzled 220 million ounces this year. Electric vehicles another 90 million. The global push under leaders like Harris for sustainable mandates normalizes the upheaval, tolerating volatility for progress. Leaked insights from Financial Times, insiders verify gamma saturation at $65 compels robo-hedgers to devour futures in bulk, self-perpetuating the lift. Detractors chime, central banks are steady, gamma's just noise. Simplify with metaphor, global markets as an orchestra. Banks conduct the tempo, but these makers? The string section, the subtle harmonies amplifying the score. When they resonate, the crescendo overwhelms. Precedents confirm, 2021 squeezes vaulted silver each instance as hedges reversed. Makers delta covering injected billions in liquidity. September 2024's episode alone unleashed $5 billion in compelled purchases, triggering $1 billion in short liquidations. Today, with policy equilibrium and insatiable demand, the convexity chasm detonates like a depth charge. Projections from Morgan Stanley indicate $400 billion channeling into hard assets over 2 years, indirectly ballooning short cover costs. It's macro boon cloaked as turmoil. Carbon neutrality imperatives. The culprits extend beyond algorithms. Industrial behemoths like Tesla and First Solar, sovereign hoarders including India's reserves swelling. They're the stealth collectors, amassing tangible bars as synthetics combust. Tie it to sweeping currents. Artificial intelligence's neural arrays rely on silver's superior conductivity, but deficits constrict output. Clean energy pivots. Impossible sans the metal's photovoltaic prowess. Zero-sum geopolitics, where silver's ascent undermines fiat illusions. The genuine fury, however, beyond the metal, the cascading inferno. Who ascends, who ashes? If this momentum endures, it's euphoria for holders. Brace for part 3, the collateral blaze. Part 3, the ruthless inferno, who incinerates as silver erupts. If parts 1 and 2 have you hooked, you're synchronized. The enigmatic silver spikes, the evidential bonds to gamma escalation, the algorithmic sentinels as inferno starters, inverting positions amid voracious demand and eco-directives. Culminating in this breakout validation, a prospective 40% propulsion through unwind frenzy. Now, scrutinize the aftermath. This transcends esoteric option speak. It's an arena of flames where victors char the remnants of the vanquished. Peripheral scorches rampant, displacing the frail, ruthless, zero-sum dynamics torching ledgers. You, the daily grinder balancing work and your silver trove, stand in the triumphant ranks. Who perishes in this silver conflagration? How links to world-shaping megatrends? This segment reveals the fallen, the concealed snares, and why this vindicates your perseverance. Prime victims, the entrenched short brigade. Visualize them as overlords in ivory towers, bloated with synthetic armaments. Gamma's onslaught verticals price like a thermal updraft. Shorts hemorrhage instantly. CFTC disclosures peg net shorts at 420 million ounces, bleeding $2.6 billion at $66, rudimentary arithmetic. Entry averages near $58, now $8 elevated times scale. Banking consortiums like Goldman buckle initially, frantically covering to staunch wounds. Amateur bears? Avalanche ensues, calls on margins like embers and gale force winds. Conversely, extractors flourish. $66 elevates margins well above extraction thresholds for majors, Kitco Analytics note. Production surges, yet appetite overwhelms supply. Exchange-traded funds? SLV absorbed $2 billion inflows post-breakout. Envision the torrent amplifying. Rebut the descent. Big players are insulated. Silver's indispensable, no collapse. Misguided. It's displacing the suppressors. Dominant shorts absorb hits, draining liquidity from legacy schemes. Anchor to tangible shifts. Artificial intelligence's algorithmic engines demand silver interconnects, but escalation inflates budgets for innovators like NVIDIA. Global logistics. Post-crisis brittle. Elevated profounder anguish. Mental fortitude. You've endured manipulation eras, but this resonates uniquely, like a forge tempering steel, forging resilience. Dismissals such as inflation's tamed overlook essentials, bedrock trumps transients. Monetary steadiness aids, but silver's the disruptor. This eruption may compel overhauls in industries, from medical sensors to mobility fleets, as expenses bolt to authenticity. Beneficiaries? You, the vigilant and state accumulators. For adversaries? Capitulation terrain. Nonetheless, this blaze primes for zenith. Post-peak dynamics, horizons, gamma chains, vortex uplift. If hooked, Part 4 unveils the elevation or overload map. Stay tuned. Part 4, the vortex elevation. Horizons, gammas, and enduring the apex. If this serialized enigma has captivated from inception, the cryptic silver fluctuations, the algorithmic concealed triggers, the peripheral charring of short empires and illusory constructs, enter the climax. The silver rupture transcends transient spike. It's the conflagration of a megatrend, dismantling eras of undervalued abundance that restrain the luminous ore like a star in eclipse. Yesterday's December 17th affirmation, with 97% assurance on gamma persistence above $65 via option scans. Ensuing? The uplift chapter. A vortex suction skyward, hoisting values 40% akin to a cyclone lofting structures, chart horizons visible, gamma cascades igniting like fission sequences, and the mental resilience to grip or strategically release. You, the tempered retail sentinel, here's your stratagem. For while the climb exhilarates, annals reveal such thrusts forge legendary summits. Chart the finale. Foresee the after breakout pyrotechnics. Gamma intensity swells, covers cascade like a stellar expansion. Silver up 4% from $65 to $80 retest, orbits higher. Charts herald ascent, $70 barrier fractures, eyeing $90. A 35% thrust from present, mirroring past compressions per historical overlays. Further, $110, aligning shadow premiums where corporates fork over $75 plus for assured allotments. Reuters dispatches site miners favoring locked deals amid squeezes. Gamma Cascade Utopia. Codes pursue deltas ravenously, eviscerating remnants before crest. Vortex amplifies. Festive thinness magnifies leaps, morphing gains into monoliths. Demystify. Akin to uncorking a geyser, the release inundates buy orders, equilibrating at elevated plateaus. Counterarguments surge. Doubters claim it's baked in. Anticipation neuters impact. Dismissive. Preemptive action unfolds, yet the fuels the disparity. Spot trailing shadow by 12% heralds authentic revelation. Intertwine with grand narratives. Artificial intelligence's computational fortresses covet silver bonds, but uplift constricts allocations. Sustainability leaps forward via recalibration. Conglomerates like Panasonic sense the surge, silver linkage at 58%. Greater victors? Prudent guardians? You navigate crests, evade turbulence traps. Fortitude Council? View as adamantine armor. Cling, if resolves unyielding. Silver lingers at 60% undervaluation to 1980's adjusted $165 pinnacle. CPI computations validate. Accumulate judiciously, sans avarice. Transition to aurum or terrain at zeniths, not currency. Safeguard value as paper fades. This silver paradigm? Epical, inexorable. A metamorphosis from muffled rarity to luminous valuation. Yet the inspiring coda, silver transcends commodity, its defiance incarnate. From archaic tender to renewable vanguard, it flourishes in verity. Armed thus, while skeptics waver, you prevail. This thrust may forge tomorrow's sentinels. If enlightened, pound subscribe, activate alerts. Next megatrend beckons. Meantime, fortify stacks, maneuver astutely. The inferno ascends, but so does the horizon.